Are you ready to take your EKKO to the next level and give it more energy? Well, guess what? I did just that. I'm really excited. I went to FreedomVanGo and had a bunch of mods. I'm going to tell you all about them. But let's just say I have not one, but two amazing batteries. I have new solar panels. Oh my gosh, a high-speed alternator, a new inverter, lots of really cool things. I'm going to let the guys tell you all about them. Here we go.
I'll do electrical. Yeah.
Well, oh,
So
here.
we'll go out here. We'll work our way from the outside in. So out here, we added your second battery, so you now have twice the capacity. We also changed the faceplate system down here to accommodate the extra 250 amp breaker. All of your factory Winnebago fuses have been moved here as well, so serviceability and stuff is a lot easier because we have these two side panels that come out, and everything is able to be pushed back and this can be removed. So service standpoint, super accessible. Two batteries, twice the capacity. Since we have the two 250 amp breakers and we have two batteries, we are now able to unlock the wake speed. So the wake speed that regulates your secondary alternator is no longer capped at 200 amps. Your alternator can now produce up to 280 amps as it's rated for. Of course, that's going to depend on your state of charge and the temperature outside. If it's too cold or too hot. But 280 is now your cap for secondary alternator charging. Also out here, it's hard to see, but it's right about here, your DC-DC charger. It's pulling 50 amps of charge off of the Sprinter chassis battery. So that's going to be at idle and while you're driving, 50 amps all the time while the engine is running, charging the system completely independent from the secondary alternator system, but they work really well together to very quickly recharge the power system. This one I can't, and the bracket system, I can't push it any further back. Okay. So this is just how all of our Spreco standard, this one's pushed back to accommodate for the latch.
Okay guys, so here, so it's the latch that makes this, we have to accommodate it. That's why it looks like they're sort of not exactly even. Okay, cool.
As far as like serviceability though, I mean, are you full-time in it or? Yeah, so like you're not going to be turning off your batteries, you're not going to be putting the system to sleep. You really just want to know where components are in case for some reason you trip a breaker for something like that, or if you have to turn the batteries off. But with the 1,000 watts of solar, the two batteries, I mean, you're really not going to have any issues. You're not really going to have to go into this compartment at all.
Okay, that's good news because I've been in it a lot. Just saying. Okay, cool. All right, next.
Thing on the agenda on the outside, we have 5 brand new panels up on the roof for a total of 1,000 watts of solar. So when the skies are clear, sun is shining, it is really, really going to push a lot of charge compared to your factory panels.
So are they angled or are they flat?
So the front ones are angled,
okay.
The rears are sitting flat.
Okay, gotcha. Let's talk hail and fun stuff like that. I need to know about care, maintenance, washing. Thoughts on this?
So, for the most part, these panels are service-free panels, but it's always a good idea, once a year, twice a year to just clean them off or spray them off or something, because the dirtier they get, the less efficient they are, things like that. The Rich Solar are pretty robust panels. They still are glass panels, so yes, there is a risk of hail damage and things like that, but in our experience, they're a bit more robust than some of the other panels, especially the factory panels that came off of there. But yeah, as far as serviceability, I mean, once a year, just go to a truck stop where you can get up on top and just spray the panels off so we can kind of keep them clean, make sure they're nice and efficient. But, everything's going to function about the same way. You do have a little bit of overhang on both sides of the back just because of how much solar we have on there. There's only so much space, so we do have to accommodate a little bit on the sides. And then we angle the front ones down to help with wind noise and things like that.
So we talked about care and maintenance. How much juice am I going to pull from these?
So, I mean, that depends on time of the year, where the sun is, where you are. I mean, there's a lot of variables. It's hard to give a one set number. In Florida here on a sunny day, you can expect, probably up to 700 watts or so.
Okay.
So the norm's going to be between 400 and 750.
And do the grand unveiling.
Dun dun dun. Victron, gotta love Victron. Okay.
So we're seeing 470 watts coming in right now. Okay. So the sun's not
and there's a few
up completely.
That are in the shade.
Yeah, correct. And then some are in the shade. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're parking and you want to use the solar to its full capacity, try to avoid any shady spots. Try to keep it as completely covered by the sun on the roof as possible, and we will maximize the charge coming in from solar.
All right, that's good. Awesome. Next.
Cool. So under here, where the Xantrex inverter was, we now have replaced it with the MultiPlus 3000 watt inverter. So a much more efficient charger. Has a charge current maximum of 120 amps, whereas the Xantrex 2000 was about 80. So it's going to be more efficient, especially on the 30 amp side. When you go to a campground, plug in, it's going to charge really, really fast. So that's everything on the inverter. It is now controlled by the Touch 70. So Touch 70 is going to be the screen for the servo. Servo is the hub for all of the Victron information to go to. It is going to display now to the Touch 70, and your controls for the inverter, like I had mentioned before, are here. So right here we have the general overview. The smart shunt that's in the bottom of the system is displaying your percentage. So you're at 94%. You're actually charging at 30 amps from solar, even with all the lights on and stuff on the inside. And then over here on the left shows you your different types of chargers. So here on the bottom with the little sun icon, we have solar. Right here in the middle with this little motor, that is actually the DC-DC charger. So you'll see 700 watts coming in whenever you start the engine. When it's producing 50 amps of charge, you'll see that pop up to 800 watts. And whenever you plug into shore power, that top icon is going to go up as well. So if you're limited at 10 amps, like it is right now, when you plug into the wall, you're going to see about 1,000 watts come in, and you'll see this number go up.
So as far as energy goes, we're going to look at this, but we're still going to have our control panel on this side for turning on the, the air conditioning, the pumps, and all that kind of thing. Okay, great.
Which we can do right now, actually, because it is
That would be a really great idea.
As long as it doesn't affect your audio, I think we should be okay.
That's okay. Yeah, he's got it at 59. Bless his heart. He must be from...
We gotta test it.
We gotta test it.
We gotta make sure it turns on.
Let's just do 70 for fun. Okay. There we go. Put on auto.
Perfect.
It's gonna be
now,
good.
if you look over here, actually, as that compressor kicks on, you saw that jumped up right there.
Mm-hmm.
This right side is going to be all of your loads. So this little wiggly line is AC loads. So all of the inverter, powering the outlets, the air conditioning, induction cooktop, anything that plugs into the wall with these 110s are going to show up here on the top. So we're getting about 870 watts draw because the AC is on. And then down here on the bottom with that line and 3 dots, that is your DC loads. So all of your USBs, your lights, the max air fan, everything that's 12 volt DC is going to show up right here as your load. And then of course the easiest way to look at everything is to look here in the middle, 93%. We're pulling 46 amps, and then you have your time estimation right there.
So 93% for both batteries. That's important.
Correct.
So we got the whole system under one. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's the beauty of the smart shunt. So no matter how many batteries go in, if it's 2, 3, 4, it will estimate accurately how much overall system capacity there is. That's especially helpful in the Tricos, people that have 4 batteries. Okay, so here with your controls specifically, if you tap on the screen, you'll see these little bottom bars pop up. You're going to go to the top left here, and then you're going to see 2 options pull up. So switches, not important. They are not used in this application. However, the inverter is important. So you have the mode switch. If you tap on it, you have on, charger only, inverter only, and off. Keep it simple. Either turn it on or turn it off. If you happen to be leaving the van for a couple of days, turn it off. If you're in the van and you're going to be using it actively, keep it on. Also, if you turn the inverter off, different from the Xantrex, if you turn the inverter off, it will not wake itself up if you plug into short power. So the inverter has to be on if you're going to plug into short power or you run the generator. And then we have the grid current limit. So depending on where you're plugging into, that number is going to change. So if you're using an adapter, like 30 amp to 15, you're going to want to make sure that number's set to 15 or below. I usually set it at 13 just to make sure it doesn't surge, and then you're going to get out and reset the breaker. Or 10 amps works fine too. And then if you go to a campground or if your home base has a 30 amp setup, you can set that up to 30 amps and it's going to charge a shore power way, way faster. So those are your 2 settings there. Super easy to adjust. Over here on overview, same information, but it looks a little bit different, broken down into boxes instead of your circle. Notifications, any notifications, warnings, or anything will pop up here on this screen. You have no current alerts, which is good. On the servo, there is a wireless Wi-Fi option for it to connect to Wi-Fi, and it also has a hardwire plug on there as well. So if you run a Starlink or if you have a internet setup in here, you can either connect it wirelessly or you can hardwire the Ethernet to it, and it will connect to Wi-Fi. So for the online updates and firmware, you want to make sure it's connected to Wi-Fi so it can detect if there is an update and let it run through its update. I'll show you how to connect to Wi-Fi in a second. Also, there is a thing called Victron remote monitoring. So we have this set up now. This is actually connected to my iPad. So long as this servo is connected to Wi-Fi and this iPad is connected to Wi-Fi, I can actually remotely monitor the system, which is really, really helpful with troubleshooting. And I can keep an eye on and even control some things if granted by the touchscreen, which really, really helps again with troubleshooting or any issues.
So Bob, we got to be nice to Nate because Nate has access to my electricity. I see where this is going.
He can't do too much. He can't do too much, but you know, the main thing is like, you know, if you're flying out somewhere and you have Starlink and you have your hotspot puck, you can see what your van's doing from anywhere in the world.
Right.
And it's actually really simple system to use.
It's not just us, you can use it too. Yeah, you can absolutely monitor it as long as it's connected to Wi-Fi, powered on, and your device is also connected to Wi-Fi. So, connecting to Wi-Fi, we're going to go back to the main settings list. We're going to scroll down until we see Wi-Fi. Click on it. Give it a couple of seconds to populate all the nearby Wi-Fis. You can click on whichever one you'd like, and then you can connect to it, type in the password, and then you're good to go. It'll show you if it's connected or not. We have a check mark next to our Wi-Fi here and saying that it's connected. And that's really all there is to it on the Wi-Fi. Okay. Other than that, this is a great, great unit. If in the future you decide you want to get Mopica sensors for the propane tanks, this has a Bluetooth capability.
I have Mopica
so that
sensors.
you can connect the Mopica sensors to the server.
I have Mopica sensors.
Do you?
I do. So we can do that then. Very fun. Okay,
absolutely.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we can set this up so that in the main overview screen, it will actually show you the levels of the propane tanks.
That would be nice. Super nice. Yep. I have them. Okay. Where do I go for that one? Just show me real quick.
Okay. So if you want me to set it up for you real quick, we can do that. So we'll go down to settings. I go down to Bluetooth, enabled. Perfect. So we have that on. And then we have this.
I need to bring my T-Mobile in so we can do this. But
so I/O on off. Yeah. We'll go to Bluetooth sensors. And then we're going to hit enable. We'll have continuous scanning on for now.
And as a bonus, I also got a much bigger fuel tank. I'm so excited. So instead of having the original 24-gallon fuel tank, I have a 48-gallon fuel tank. So that's right, guys. Watch out. I'm looking for the best diesel prices all over North America. And when I get there, I'm going to fill up that 48 gallons. So if you're considering any upgrades on your Winnebago EKKO or on your rigs, on your vans, check out FreedomVanGo. They do a great job. And they've also got a shop. So they've got shops with lots of different van parts. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. You can check out all the really cool things. If you're a DIYer and you want to do it yourself or you want to have them do it, that's fine too. Oh, and I think I even have a discount for you. I love a good discount, so check out that link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, that bell to get notified when all really cool videos about van life travel, Winnebago EKKOs, all sorts of really cool meetups and events all over North America. You might want to be a part of that, and you might want to become a member of the adventure crew. So until then, just remember that every day is an adventure. Here goes people. Here come Dave. Look at this. There she is. I photobombed her video.